Alrighty. So, what do we have here? We have some GTA 6 things, some leaks about some NPCs. Oh, man. Am I dying for some GTA 6 news? I mean, I'm just itching for that trailer, for that release date. Trailer 2. I mean, oh, man, I am dying for GTA 6, and I just am dying for GTA 6, and I just feel like they're going to wait longer and longer. And I need some news. So I saw this video from Inter. The GTA 6 devs are starting to talk. So I watched like, I don't know, 30 seconds of this video, and then I was like, all right, I'm going to react to this on stream. But we're going to check this out right now.
Okay, so hear me out. We've now got two separate Reddit posts claiming to come from people who actually worked on GTA 6. I know, that kind of thing pops up every few weeks, right? But this time, it feels different. For one, it's been over 500 days since that first trailer dropped.
500. We're counting.
And at this point, I think most of us gave up on Rockstar saying anything anytime soon. So when something like this hits the internet, I can't help but dig in and at least hope it's legit, because some of the details actually sound pretty grounded. Let's start with the first post.
Okay, here we go.
It's titled, "I worked on GTA 6. Here are some insights on its design, and according to the guy, he worked on the game for less than a year. No dates, no specific roles, probably so Rockstar lawyers don't start hunting him down. But here's what he wrote at the beginning. This is 100% my experience. Not trolling. Don't take this as a grain of salt, take this as reality, because it is. I'm using a burner account. I worked on GTA 6 for less than a year, and won't share specific dates or responsibilities. I have no knowledge of the release date. I can only speak to what I was exposed to, not what I directly worked on, to reduce personal risk. So yeah, could be fake, but I kinda believe it." One of the cooler things he talks about is this idea of seasonal or event-based NPCs, and that immediately got my attention. He says that character density will change depending on the day. So for example, beaches and downtown areas will be less crowded on a Monday but packed on weekends. Apparently
That's actually kind of fire, and that's how it probably should be, because you want to be immersed into this this world that they're gonna give us. Dude, GTA 6 is gonna be insane. I think it really is. It's gonna be top level.
That's what we saw in the trailer.
I
That
cannot
beach shot
wait.
was meant to represent weekend traffic.
Give me more.
And if that's real, that's already a massive step up from GTA 5.
You are dead meat! I want to apologize.
Now don't get me wrong, 5 had a bunch of scripted scenarios. Homeless NPCs chilling in alleys, people doing yoga, the odd conversation here and there. But remember how Rockstar tried to market it like every NPC has a life of their own? Yeah, they kinda didn't. Not really. The game controls where different types of NPCs spawn: business, nightlife, shopping districts, but it's still mostly random. And honestly, if you played GTA 4, you know it had way more personality. You could spot a postman checking mailboxes, a repairman up on the power pole fixing stuff, and that NPC would only appear during specific hours, like between 1 and 2 p.m., and not every day. It was subtle and rare to see, but that's what made the world feel alive. RDR2 took that even further. You had guys building railroads, butchers chopping meat, people doing real-timed routines. So if anyone could pull this off, it's Rockstar, which is why I actually believe this leak. GTA 6 could finally be the game where the world doesn't just look alive. It acts alive. I mean, just go back and watch that first trailer. That alligator walking into the store, that NPC running from the cops on the highway, road rage.
Yeah. Dude, a lot of this stuff's gonna be so funny if you see it in game. But the thing is they have to change it. You can't be seeing the same guy run down the street, so they're always gonna have to change it. And it's gonna have to be a different NPC or a different scenario, you know what I mean? Because you can't just jump on the game and then the same guy goes by, or it's the same 2 people. So they're gonna obviously have to change it, through each update or whatever, just in game. I don't know. It's gonna be crazy.
Moments. They're showing us that the world itself is just as important as the story. Now, I don't expect dudes building houses brick by brick or anything like that, although let's be honest, the Mile High Club meme is still going strong. Rockstar's had construction NPCs pretending to build that thing for over 10 years, and it's still not done. But if we get stuff like people painting fences, doing yard work, cleaning windows, fixing wires, washing their cars, I'm all in. And the least they can do is bring back open stores. I mean, it was depressing going to the pier in 5 and realizing no one was selling anything, just empty booths. In GTA 4, you could walk into a diner or grab food off a cart.
GTA 4 was by far the best. I love GTA 4. I didn't like GTA 5 at all.
So if that beach scene in the
GTA 4
trailer
is
is
way better.
anything to go by, I really think we're getting more active, reactive NPCs. And well, the Reddit post kind of confirms all of that and adds even more to the picture. Here's what the guy wrote next. Some NPCs or tourists will appear only during specific days or windows. I observed designs labeled Vespucci Beach tourists, San Fierro tourists, and Algonquin Tourist Event 1 and 2, as well as conference visitors and beachgoers. The most interesting thing I saw involved LS gang member variations, 1, 2, and 3. From what I gathered, they may tie into a Freaks and Strangers style mission that activates during specific time frames. You'll also see some NPCs at the beach on weekends in beach gear and in business apparel Monday through Friday. There will also be in-game events and concerts where tourists wear branded t-shirts, mirroring real-life event culture. Think conferences, concerts, and similar occasions. And honestly, that sounds sick. The idea of crowds showing up for specific
That's gonna
in-game
be cool.
events or concerts, that's already way more than what we had in GTA 5. It gives
You know how many like different like artists that could come in and collab? It'd be crazy.
the world this
Be
extra
sick.
layer of routine,
Kinda
like
Fortnite-ish.
things are happening even when you're not paying attention. And yeah, this immediately made me think of Circo Loco. And if you don't know what Circo Loco is, it's Rockstar's own music label. They've been dropping a bunch of deep house and tech house tracks for a while now, with some pretty big names from that scene. And you can tell they're really proud of it, so it's pretty much a guarantee at this point that we'll get a full Circo Loco radio station in GTA 6, but I don't think they'll stop there. I can totally see Circo Loco being more than just music, like an in-game brand doing club events, maybe limited time concerts. Imagine logging into the game one weekend and there's a music festival going down in
Yep.
Vice City Beach, NPCs wearing branded merch, people crowding the area,
There is so much that they could do with that. Like it's insane how much they could do with that.
food stands,
It's just
security
how far
walking
will they
around.
go with it,
That'd
which
be
I don't know.
so
We'll
cool.
see.
And then there's the whole tourist thing he mentioned. That's something
game
I
could
never
be
even
just
thought of, but it's
huge.
such a nice detail. Like seeing random NPCs walking around snapping pics of landmarks, maybe wearing sun hats and carrying backpacks, or getting in your way at the airport. And if they've got different accents depending on where they're supposed to be from, that's such a clever way to bring the world to life. Previous GTAs already had a bit of that with NPC dialogue, but expanding on it would make Vice City feel way more real. Then the guy adds this part, which honestly caught me off guard in a good way.
All right,
For
give it to me.
environmental and design references, several YouTube channels were used, such as Charlie Bow, Florida Hood Blogs, Walks, and Wall Street Excursion Tours 4K Walk. These helped shape environmental behavior to reflect real-world realism in certain areas. They were used as reference points later in development, after much of the world had already been built. Additional detailing and a second layer of work were then added to these environments. Obviously, they used practical real-life photos and videos they captured themselves, but also referenced the YouTube channels on top of that. I also know that police bodycam channels were referenced to help create some events, based on what certain teams were designing. And yeah, that's kinda crazy to me, in a good way again. We all know Rockstar does their research, like they don't just open Google Maps and call it a day. They send scouts to real cities to take pictures, capture footage, get the vibe, the sounds, the colors, all that. There were even leaks a while back, can't remember if it was real or not, but supposedly Take-Two had people sending letters to hotels and restaurants in Miami asking if a team could come and do some scouting. So now, hearing that they were also
Okay.
deep diving into random YouTube channels, watching how people actually live, how they talk, how they chill, how the streets feel, that's next level. You get a way better sense of real-life energy than you ever would from a tourist brochure or a Google Earth screenshot. Now the body cam part is where it gets even more interesting, because apparently they used these footage as a reference for building certain in-game events. And you know what? We had a body cam shot in the first
Oh, yeah.
trailer. You know, the one with the raid, shaky cam, and flashlight blasting through a door. And yeah, maybe it was just for cinematic flair, but now that we know they were studying body cam channels, I'm starting to think it wasn't just a one-time trailer thing. I mean, imagine if they actually include stuff like that in the game. Maybe if you escape from the cops, you can see body cam or dash cam footage later, like on an in-game website or through
That would be
Snapmatic.
sick.
Or maybe there's a full-on photo or video mode where you can re-watch gameplay moments from different points of view, including
Dude, that would be sick. And they're probably going to do that. And you know, because they're going to have a social media is going to be mixed in with the game. So like they're going to have their own in like social media like app. So I guarantee you'll be able to post this stuff on there. And that's how it's going to work. I guarantee it.
body cams. It could be like some Watchdog-style
Guarantee
replay
it.
system, or just a new storytelling element to make events feel more immersive.
And you can see the
Before
different,
deleting the account, the author
POVs.
left us with one last spicy note. I want to be able to look back at all the comments saying this is untrue, or that it's just a trust me bro source, and then ask, when it turns out to be 100% accurate, is it still just a trust me bro source? Bookmark and screenshot this thread so you can say, oh, he was right. These are things that will not be cut from the game. There won't be any excuses. This was part of a second phase of development, meant to expand on the existing NPC framework at the time, to really flesh out the world in this aspect. I'm sure they finished it by now. This was from at least 10 months ago, and I had direct exposure for only a few weeks. So yeah, bold statement, and honestly, I kind of want to believe him. Like, he sounds confident in what he's saying. And some of the stuff he described does line up with what we've seen in the trailer and what we could realistically expect from Rockstar at this point. But of course, I'm still keeping my expectations in check. I mean, we've been burned before with insider leaks, and we still don't have any real confirmation of anything new from Rockstar. So yeah, maybe I trust it too much. But I think that's what makes this stuff so fun to talk about, right? Anyway, enough about that guy. Let's move on to leak number 2. This one's titled, I worked as a QA on GTA 6 last year. Here's what I can tell you. And you can already tell this one's gonna be a bit more grounded. The guy claims he used to work QA on the game for a while, but left in mid-2023. He's not pretending to be some lead developer or narrative designer or anything like that. Just someone who was around long enough to pick up on some wild things while testing and reporting bugs. So yeah, lower on the food chain, but that doesn't mean he didn't see some cool stuff. And some of what he talks about, honestly, it sounds pretty believable.
It would be so sick to do a QA, be able to do it on GTA 6. That would be amazing.
So let's break it
What a
down.
job.
First off, remember that GTA 6 mapping project that's been floating around for a while now?
Dude, that
The
mapping
one where fans have
project,
been
this little mapping project from the community, this thing is insane. Like, the fact that they're able to, like, pinpoint and like kind of figure out what the map's gonna look like, it's crazy what they do.
building this giant community-sourced map based on the 2022 leaks and that first trailer? Yeah, obviously everyone kind of knew it was based on triangulating stuff from the leaked clips.
Yeah.
You know, matching landmarks, lining up streets, guessing how far things are from each other. Pretty smart stuff. But according to the second leak, that project might have actually hit a little too close to home. Internally, some people at Rockstar were apparently surprised at how accurate some parts of that fan map turned out to be.
So they did it
had
so
actual
well.
meetings about it, trying to figure out if maybe some older version of the map somehow leaked way before the big 2022
That's how
leak.
I'm like, how do these people can figure out what it looks like and they haven't played the game? So that's why I think it's like leaks and like somebody has like an inside, like a person in the inside. I don't know.
It happened.
Just,
It wasn't
there's
just
no
about
way
the
they could
public
figure that
footage.
out.
The real issue was that certain elements of the
Somebody
fan-made
has to
map
tell
matched
them
terrain
something.
data from early development builds, stuff that was never shown publicly. So either someone got access to something they shouldn't have, or it was just a really weird coincidence. Either way, it apparently had some folks at Rockstar on edge for a while, trying to figure out if something slipped out under the radar. Next up, Vice City is obviously the main city in GTA 6. Nothing new there. But what the guy pointed out, and what actually surprised him, is everything outside of it. And apparently, there's way more countryside than people think. Not just a bit of open space, but full-on backwater Florida type of stuff. Swamps, trailers, busted up roads, sinkholes, alligators, and just straight up weirdness.
Gonna be crazy.
He
It's
said
gonna be
there's this
crazy.
one area people internally joked about and called Meth County, which already paints a pretty wild picture. And he mentioned seeing events in the logs with names like Strange Gathering and Property Sealed, which sounds like some secret cult or hidden side activity kind of deal. Now this next bit kinda blew my mind. According to the post, the NPC memory system in GTA 6 is way beyond anything we saw in RDR2. Like, people actually remember you. Not just in the "you bumped into me" kind of way, but for real. Dude said he stole a bike in some small neighborhood during testing, and when he came back 2 in-game days later, the guy recognized him, pulled out his phone, started filming, and was yelling at him
crazy.
like he remembered exactly.
That'd be insane. You do stuff and then all of a sudden it's like, are you that person? And they're like the in-game NPCs like remember you from like a week ago from robbing something like that. That's insane. Like,
What happened.
dude,
Another time, a
Wonder why
shop
this
clerk
game's taken
refused to
13
serve him
years.
because he caused a scene outside the store earlier, and cops also remember. He said he ran from them in one part of the city, and then later when he got pulled over, the cop actually brought it up. Like, you again? That level of continuity
That's
makes
crazy.
everything feel way more alive. And the craziest part? Someone he robbed earlier in the game actually showed up again later during a mission and tried to attack him. Not part of a main story or anything, it just triggered based on what he did earlier. That kind of dynamic memory system, if it's true, it's gonna change how we play completely. Then there's the stuff you can do during traffic stops. And honestly, this sounds wild. Apparently, if you get pulled over, you're not just sitting there waiting for the cops to finish their little animation. You can actually do stuff, like stash illegal items in your glove box or under the seat
Yeah, let's
before
go. They're coming up to you. You can stash it. They don't even see you. Dude, that's actually going to be fire. That actually, I definitely believe these leaks. Like some of these leaks, like that you're like hearing here, some of them are just super realistic. I mean, obviously anybody could just make these things up, but like some of these, you could just see that if Grand Theft Auto 6, like what they're going to bring to it, and like what we're hearing, like with the leaks that that came out years ago or about a year and a half ago. I mean, it all lines up. It just sounds like it. These are definitely real.
they walk up to the car. And depending on what you're carrying and how you act during the stop, the cops might either let you go or decide to search the vehicle. He mentioned that if you're fast enough and keep your cool, you can actually get away with hiding stuff right under their nose. What's even crazier is that the AI reacts based on things like where you're looking or how quickly you're moving. It's not just a simple press X to hide the gun type thing. It's all happening in real time. The driving also sounds like it got a serious upgrade. According to the post, it feels like a mix between GTA 4 and 5, so not as floaty and arcadey as 5, but not full sim either. Cars actually feel like they've got some weight to them. If you're tearing through corners too fast, you'll feel the body roll. And surface type matters too. Dirt roads or rain completely change how the car handles. And what's even more interesting is how deep they apparently went with car customization. The guy said modifications aren't just visual, they impact how the car behaves. Like, he added a racing suspension to one of the heavier cars and instantly felt the difference in cornering and stability.
Yeah,
so, depending on your setup, the driving can feel almost simulation-like.
People would eat the car, the racing, all that stuff, and like they have a real crazy customization, like. Definitely.
Which honestly sounds perfect for people who want a bit more realism but still want that classic GTA chaos. And then there's the shooting. And man, this is where it gets heavy. He said shooting NPCs actually hit him emotionally sometimes. They don't just drop like they do in GTA 5. People beg, scream, ask why you're doing it. It's brutal. You can tell Rockstar put a lot into the voice lines and reactions because apparently no two situations felt the same. The gore and physics were another level too. It's not over the top or cartoony, it's just uncomfortably real. Where you hit someone actually matters, and the way their body reacts changes based on that. According to the post, there were even internal talks at Rockstar about making sure it doesn't get too disturbing, which honestly just makes me more curious how far they have pushed it. And when it comes to the story, don't expect some wild explosion right out of the gate, because according to the post, it's more of a slow burn. Stuff starts pretty grounded and personal, like way more serious in tone than GTA 5. Kinda closer to what GTA 4 was doing with Nico and the whole immigrant storyline. And honestly, I'm into that. Starting slow and letting things spiral sounds like a solid setup, especially if it gives us time to really connect with the world before all hell breaks loose. There were also some random dev chats about something called the Bermuda. No clue if that's a location or some deeper mystery, but apparently it's the kind of thing
the Easter egg community for sure. We'll eat that up.
It's hidden so well, most players won't ever find it. One dev even joked it might turn into something bigger than the whole Mount Chiliad mystery from 5. I love this kind of stuff, because if it's real, it sounds like Rockstar is really bringing back that weird, hidden layer energy we haven't felt in a long time. As for the whole hurricane or natural disaster speculation, this guy said he never saw anything like that during testing. Doesn't mean it's not in the game, but at least during his time, it wasn't something they were actively showing. So maybe let's cool down the hurricane hype until we see something official. And then there's the online mode, and apparently that's the most locked down part of the entire project.
Yeah.
Like, nothing's supposed to
No one knows when that's
coming out.
But
from the few convos this guy overheard, the team is treating it like it's gonna be huge. They've apparently learned a lot from GTA Online's ups and downs, and are aiming for something way deeper. Things like more grounded progression, a more realistic in-game economy, and even some live event systems that sound more dynamic than anything we've had before. I just hope it's not another grind fest of shark cards and overpriced cars. So yeah, between both of these posts, there's a lot to unpack. Is it all 100% legit? Who knows? But honestly, a lot of it makes sense, and it doesn't sound too far off from what we expect.
A lot of this really makes a lot of sense.
From Rockstar this time around. Anyway, let me know what you think. Do these leaks sound legit to you? Are you buying into it or calling it a trust me bro situation? Let me know in the comments down below. And of course,
Yeah, no, that's definitely it's gonna be interesting for sure. I cannot wait. I hope that trailer 2 comes out real quick. I hope it comes out like tomorrow. Hopefully they shadow drop it like out of nowhere. Hopefully it doesn't get leaked like last time. But yeah, that's Inter. I'm gonna put his link into my description of this video. I really appreciate everybody, all the support on the channel, and yeah, GTA 6. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting.